Yes, you're welcome to this channel. Here I read only the content of my diaries, which entails the broadcast of communications and discussions between my parents and I during the days of my growing up as a child. So, in my previous video, I uploaded clips of videos from workplaces where hardworking people engages in various kinds of ways of earning a decent and legitimate living. Like staying here in Europe and talking from the experience, making a living entails what we as human beings engages ourselves with in order to keep sustained and keeping up with our utility bills and other commitments. Though sometimes some people might want to engage in or indulge themselves in things that are illegal and or things that constitutes to crime. These are the kind of practices and then the kind of things that we as people that want to stay on the path of decency, we want to disassociate ourselves from such practices and from such people. So making a living entails hard work and decency. So I take this opportunity to upload the effort of I salute everybody making up everybody that is waking up in the morning, dusting themselves up, zipping up their boots, and then putting their sweats down in order to survive. My guy, I say it is not easy. Really, it is not easy because staying in this part of the world and then being part of the system, I can confidently say that yes, it is not easy. And anybody that I see doing the same thing, I have to compliment their effort by saying thank you. So it doesn't really matter where you are. It's not. I'm not just talking about people that are in Europe or in America. I'm also bearing in mind there are people that are some in other parts of Asia and other parts of Africa. In Nigeria, for example, there are people that does all kind of jobs that require the use of energy, waking up in the morning and taking a risk to do one thing or the other to earn a decent living. So hustle is the same thing, no matter the part of the world we are. It doesn't change from one place to another. The only difference here in Europe is the system of recruitment into workplaces and the weight of the currency or the exchange rate. So that's the only difference. But the sweat we put down is the same. So I have to say, I appreciate those guys that are working very hard and then to be able to see that they earn a living. So in Nigeria, for example, the truck pushers, those people that also wake up in the morning, start up their motorcycles to be able to use it as a taxi to convey passengers, they are taking a risk. And the risk is this that when somebody book an appointment with a motorbike operator, and in Nigeria we call them the Okada. So when you book an appointment with an Okada, and you don't know, he doesn't understand where he's going to. You are the one that will be the pilot to direct where he should head to. So many of them are in a very big risk of being led to where they will not where they are making only their final trip and they will never return back. It's a very big risk and it is also hard work. So we have to put these people into consideration and knowing that there is no difference in what they are doing compared with what we do here in Europe, except of course the exchange rates of the currency which we earn as salaries. So as it is, I want to also like when I have mentioned about what happens to us that doing this kind of struggle in Europe. It is not because we enjoy or we are happy to have left home to travel thousands of kilometers to Europe here and staying away from activities that involve or requires our attention at home. We are not happy doing that, but at the same time, certain things is very essential in life. Staying here in Europe, doing all kind of a menial job that is offered to us, we accept anything that we are offered. Whatever they offer to us, this is their country, this is their home. They decide what we as migrants, what we are supposed to do. So we just accept it, knowing that we have objectives and targets that we have set in front of us, and this is what is motivating us. This is what is giving us. This is the driving force to whatever stamina, whatever endeavors we put forward. Wake up in the morning, do whatever assignment that was given unto us, and then we get it done. And then our target is to have all those the objectives that we have set in front of us, that is waiting for us at home. We have to have it done, and then that is the motivation force that is aspiring us into whatever we have to do. So if I relate these objectives now, or this ideology to my kid brother, who is in my opinion, who is in Austria. His name is Joseph. So he was in Austria, to the best of my knowledge, and then whatever stories that is happening, that I have heard about what was going on around him, is never true, and I will never accept that anything that I'm hearing about what has happened to my kid brother, I will never accept it to be true. So a woman that I thought was a sister of mine has claimed that she withdrew the sum of 43,000 euros from Joseph, because if we are talking about somebody who has set the target of hustling in Europe to be able to earn a decent living, and in the process he saved up to 43,000 euros. It's not a piece of cake money. This money is huge. It is sufficient for anybody in America or any part of Europe should be able to have 43,000 euros and begin to think of doing something that is an investment that is worthwhile. So for him to have saved up that kind of money and informed our relatives, our brothers and sisters, and said, this is the money I have, what can we do with it? And then boom, the next thing I heard was that stories begin to come here and there that he has committed suicide. I cry foul, and I know my instinct is telling me that all is not well. So suspicion thrives where transparency does not exist. So if there is no transparency, I begin to show that with what I know, I'm trying to explain that this kind of a scenario is not new in the family I'm growing up, or in my own family. This kind of incidence is not new. It is something that has continued to be, and I will continue to talk about this to be able to enlighten, or to make my own voice public, that I'm not conversant, and I'm not accepting what has happened, and I will continue to look for means to be able to address the question about what has happened to my brother. Thank you for listening.